Good afternoon and welcome to Artists of Color, and I am Elaine Hall-Corbin, your host. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. Today my guest is Patricia Thaxton, artist extraordinaire. Patricia, thanks for joining me today.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I am so glad you're here.
Thank you.
I know you've been busy this week because you got stuff going on.
I really do.
You know, I know you do, but I'm glad you were able to join me.
Thank you.
We've been working on this for a minute.
Yes, it's been a couple of years.
Yes, I've been trying to get you on.
Okay.
And you keep saying, can you do this? But that's okay. You're here now, and I am so excited that you are.
Thank
I
you.
really am. And I noticed, and we'll talk about this later, but I noticed you brought your family.
I did.
And
My
I think that is
daughter.
wonderful.
Yes.
Because I've never met your young people.
Yes.
So that's good to meet them.
They're talented too.
Oh, I've noticed and I've heard. So what I wanted to begin with, give me a little bit of history on you. You know, where you're from, what you've been doing, how you got started, but basically where you're from and how you decided to be an artist.
Okay. I've been doing art my whole life. It turns out when I was really young, I was really into art. I'm from the Grove Hall area.
Okay.
Dorchester,
You're a Bostonian.
Stanwood Street, yes. Yes, Stanwood Street. Went to Jeremiah E. Burke.
You did?
Yes. Went to UMass Amherst.
Okay.
And I got a degree in education. I am a retired home economics teacher.
Home economics?
I was the last home economics teacher in the Boston Public Schools.
Are you serious?
Last. Retired in 2009.
Where were you teaching home economics? What school?
English High. High school.
See, first of all, I didn't think they still did that.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
You know, you were the last.
I was the last. I was last, mostly because I covered a lot of areas: family living, child development, home management, consumer education, interior decorating, and clothing and textiles.
Oh, so that just rounded off everything.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. And I did a talent fashion show every single year, just before April vacation, with over 100 students that coordinated cameras, stage crew.
Really?
And singers, dancers, rappers, the combination of things.
Combination of a lot.
Of a lot.
Oh my! Now you mentioned what, interior design?
Interior design.
Design. How? Tell me about that.
Well, basically, I taught them how to take a basic room and decorate it on a small amount of money.
I like
Meaning
that.
with a little bit of good paint, nice drapery,
Okay.
how to make drapes.
Oh.
I took them.
I gotta take a class from you.
I took my students down Chinatown.
Okay.
Pick out the fabric. No kits with me. Pick out the fabric, feel of the fabric, and compare printing on fabrics and things of that sort. And bought the fabric for their clothing class. Wow. How to lay out patterns, cut, sew. And then culinary arts, we cook full dinners. And Thanksgiving, it was a turkey, 25-pound turkey for each class.
Really?
Black-eyed peas and rice,
Oh,
collard
yeah.
greens, smoked neck bones, sweet potato pie, macaroni, cheese. Yes.
Now that I like.
Yes.
That I
Yes.
like.
Yes.
Mm.
So, after retiring, I decided that, well, actually, I told my students, I was told by my elder aunts that when you retire, you need to have something to do. You know, you sit and you feel your aches and pains and things of that sort. And so I started planning. I made a list. Said I want to do some acting, which I did a little bit. And I was an extra in about 3 movies. You know,
Oh, wow.
with, you know, and to, you know, do art and have an art exhibit. And at that time, I'm thinking I'm going to do art because it pleases me.
There you go.
And it still does. But I'm exhibiting a lot more now. Mm-hmm. And I joined Discover Roxbury back in 2012. Yes. But in 2011, after I had a body of work and family coming by, and they said, you really should have a
Yeah,
show.
have a show.
And I shopped around, and people were already booked, but it was time for me. I needed to put it on the wall.
Yes, it did. Yeah.
So I did my own solo show,
You did.
2011.
Oh, wow.
It was called
I did
From
not.
My Point of View.
I like that name.
My Point
My
of View.
point of view.
Because I
like
do
that.
a variety of things.
Yeah, you do.
I don't have just
I've
landscaping.
watched your.
it's-
I've seen your work, and I can tell. Your different mediums. I can.
Right.
I love your work.
Thank you. Thank
I
you.
really do.
So I did that solo show in 2011.
Okay.
And it was at the Boston Teachers Union,
Oh, okay.
Carson Place.
Yes.
Yes. So my children did the installation and the advertisement and everything.
I
And
know it was a successful show.
we did well. It
There you
was
go.
it was fun. And well, I mean, I'm going on. Have I passed?
No.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, please.
2012, I joined Roxbury, did
Okay.
Roxbury Open Studios.
Yep. That's where we met.
It is. And then the holiday show.
Yep.
And then the black and white
Right,
show.
yep.
And the, what else? Hot of the Hub.
Yep.
Yes. And I've been with them, up until last year.
Last
we
year.
started Roxbury Open Studios Collaborative.
Collaborative. Exactly, the collaborative.
And I'm
yeah.
part of that.
I'm glad.
Yes.
I'm
yes.
really. I'm glad that's still continuing.
Yes. Yes.
I
So make
would-
sure
I would-
Rock Studios continues.
Continues
at
because
least.
I would be so upset if
I
that.
miss it.
Yeah,
I mean, I call them my art family.
And there you go. And I call them, hey, if I don't go there, I can't go anywhere for the holiday season because that, to me, that season starts with
Right.
Roxbury Open
Because it's
Studios.
in the fall.
Yes, it is.
Very
And I
nice.
get to find little things.
And since then, I've done a number of other, shows, and I've got a number of things that are going on right now.
Yes, you do.
I've got a piece that has been installed at 9 William Street, that new housing at Dudley.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that. Okay,
And I've
I
got a
missed
piece
something.
that's going in the convention center for a show for 4 months. And then a number of other things. There's a youth center that's interested
In your work?
in my work. So
Beautiful. But you've got an installation now downtown.
I do. I have an installation in City Hall
Yep.
at the Mayor's Gallery.
Yes.
And it'll be up the entire month of May.
Yes.
And I'm very proud of it.
I'm
Very
sure you
proud of
are.
it.
I gotta go down. I really, my thing was I missed hearing the talk. Are you going to be doing something else before the end? Around the installation before the end of May?
I'm not sure. I'm
Whether
not
you're going to
sure.
be doing another talk. or
Yeah, I
anything.
did a talk this afternoon.
Right.
And you have me here.
I got you here. I got you here. As a matter of fact, we've got some of your work, and we're going to be showing some of that during the interview, and you can talk to my audience about, your different pieces, because I love your work.
Thank you.
Absolutely do.
Thank you.
Since you did mention that you were always an artist, ever since you were a little girl, when did you actually, or when did someone tell you, she's going to be an artist because this is what she does, and this is what she's been doing? She's been dabbling for a long time.
Elementary school, they looked
Okay.
at my work and saw that I got into fine detail and
Yes.
design. You know how in a coloring book I would put, add a purse to and a designer hat and
Really?
things of that sort. And when I got into high school, and when they had little exhibits and things of that sort, I was fashion designing for a period of time, and my girlfriend's, I designed something for a ball. My girlfriend grabs a doll, she runs to her house, and I said, no. She said, I want to show my mom. And her mother was a fashion designer. I said, no, she's going to laugh at it. She
And
came
she
back
didn't.
and she said, my mom said you're creative. And that did it.
See?
Little things can make a big difference in your life.
Yes, they can.
I think, and I forgot to tell the story, my mom took a class, a sewing class at a community center when I was really young. It's about 3. And it was one of those sewing machines where you had to do the pedal.
My mother-in-law has one of those.
And I remember watching her put this, this fabric together and creating, and I thought it was fascinating. So I started sewing, being petite and trying to find clothes to fit you.
Yes.
I started designing. I figured if I have to alter it, hem it, take it in.
You might as well just design it for yourself.
So I started designing in junior high school.
Really? Oh my, what?
Yeah, and I used to do fashion shows, and I did some models.
Are you still designing?
Mostly household things, draperies, pillows, and things of that sort. Mostly household items. Oh,
Tell
yes.
us about this piece. Told you we were going to get some of your pieces in.
Yes.
Tell us.
This is called black and white, but this is my my logo.
Oh, this
and
is your
I
logo.
started this, when I started this, I wasn't sure if I was going to stick with it as my logo, but I've been using it. As a matter of fact, I have my very first set of business cards.
Okay.
I've been making cards. And so I've got
now you've got your
my very first set, and I think I have some in my pocket right here. Yes, with the design.
Oh, look at that.
Yes.
I love that. That is beautiful.
The middle, it reminds me of like an African shield.
Yes.
The T is for Thaxton.
There you go.
The design on the sides. My daughter says, "Mommy, these here on the side here, this is her, and this is my daughter, my daughter DeAndre, my son Gerald." So she says, "Mom," and we're on the side.
Oh, I like that. That's a beautiful thought. Oh, I love that.
This one is called Traffic Vision.
Were you out in traffic when you thought of this?
Actually, I was on the side. This is at Forest Hills.
Yep,
As you can see the bridge there.
Yes.
That bridge is gone.
That's right.
So this whole scene is gone. It does not look like that anymore.
No, it doesn't. No, it does not.
I was sitting at Hills waiting for my daughter to get off the train. And I was I'm always looking around because actually everything's very interesting to me. I've always carried a camera.
I was gonna, see.
Or sketch pad with me all the time. So I was looking in the side view and I was thinking, that looks interesting, and I just took the picture. Okay. And later on when I looked at it, I said, oh, there's so much more there. There's more than just what's in the side mirror. My car right here.
Okay.
There's traffic over here.
Yep.
And there's traffic coming here.
Yep.
There's park cards over there, and the businesses are there. And so I said, this is interesting. I'm going to do this.
How long did it take you to
That
do
one's
that?
about 3 feet. That's pretty big. If you go by the exhibit on the 5th floor in City Hall,
yes, please,
you will see it. Yes.
I'm going to see it. I have to. And who?
This is a friend of mine.
Okay.
I guess I have to say who has on.
Okay.
He was living in Virginia. I was living here, and we were talking. And he said, let's meet in New York for Valentine's Day. So I have this, it's called Chillin' in New York Deli.
Chillin' in New York Deli. I like that.
So the background is painted, but the rest of it's all cut paper.
Oh, it is. So it's
all this is all cut paper, but sometimes I decide I'm going to paint the background.
Okay.
Or possibly continue with collage, or
various things. Have you always done collage?
I'm just going to say this is the first piece I did after I retired. And there's a room in my house, my studio's in the house. There's a room in my house that we began to just, put things in a hurry, and cleaning up,
cleaning out.
you know. And I had not got around to making it my studio. I was still teaching.
Okay.
After I retired, I said to be look more like a studio.
Instead of,
Because I was working on this piece on a table, at a chair,
Oh.
piece by piece. Every single petal is separate.
it is.
And then it's assembled, where it overlaps and overlaps until it looks three-dimensional.
Actually, I can see that. I can see
Well,
that.
collage, I think it started with sewing. Started with sewing and patterns and things of that sort and putting things together.
Really?
I like doing the three-dimensional,
Yes.
layers on layers,
Layers
and
on
it
top of-
begins to look, more real, and it has a look to it.
Okay.
I like texture. And
Oh, this is beautiful.
Thank
I
you.
love that.
And this is a piece just from a vase. There's a vase with flowers in it. And this is taken just from the vase part. But there must have been like 100 flowers that I cut. And then
so
I did.
this is layered,
This is also a collage.
and I would have not known.
What I did, I drew the leaves, but then I cut them out. I like the fact that to make them look three-dimensional, layering them. So I felt like this was through a snowstorm, a big
so this
snowstorm.
is
I'm
what
trying to remember what year that was, through a snowstorm.
Okay,
And I
we've
felt
had a number
like
of those.
drawing. So I could sit in front of a TV, do my drawing, and then go in the studio, cut, paste, and put things together.
Now, in your putting things together and layering, and you were talking about textures, let's talk about, because I wanted to know about textures, what textures you use. But let's talk about
I'd like it to get, this is one of my simple pieces. This is called In Prayer.
Okay.
And the caption that I wrote with this is prayer,
Okay.
especially when times are tough.
Okay. I understand that. I clearly understand that.
And then I say, why not?
Okay. There you go.
Why not?
Why not? Why not?
This has the can't even think of the triangle in the background. That is fabric.
Oh, okay. All right.
And this part here is cardstock, but I kept it simple because I want you to concentrate more on her head tilting, and her hands
Okay.
together, and the piece that she's finding.
All right. I like that. I love that. So this, okay.
This is
This looks like a market.
This is African market. Back in, 1975,
Okay.
I took a trip to Africa.
You did.
Senegal, Liberia, Ghana.
Oh wow.
It was fantastic.
It was. I bet it was.
But on the way back home, checking bags and things of that
Yes.
sort, and they lost the bag. I put all my film in one bag. They'll make it easy,
Right,
because they can
of course.
open it and see this
it.
is film.
Exactly.
They lost that bag.
Oh no.
I went to everyone I could talk to and say, please, when you find it, do not scan it,
Oh
through
no.
the scanner.
Scanning system. No.
especially back then.
Yes.
Got it back 2 weeks later. Of course, they did scan it. All the film was terrible.
Terrible.
It was a mess.
Destroyed.
This is an extract from a postcard that I happened to pick up as I was leaving in the airport. I bought few postcards, and that's one. Out of the pictures, maybe I got 4 out of the film.
Out of all the
that
film?
was ruined.
Oh wow.
So African market, this was the one thing that could remind me of what the whole
Was
about.
about.
It's going to markets and people selling food, selling their wear, buying things, and that was the one picture that I felt was a good,
Like it was-
good remembrance.
Of course, of course. Now, when you were there, did you bring back any textured
I
material?
brought back fabric
Ah, I knew it.
and sculptures and a number of things. The thing is, to Africa, then Spain, and France.
Oh,
And
excuse
I
me.
was afraid to send things back through the post office.
To the post office.
I carried all that.
You carried it all.
I carried it all back home because I was afraid I would lose something.
Lose it. Yeah.
Because they couldn't guarantee me that it would get there.
See.
This is called Pops and the Boys. You can't see their heads. This
Oh,
chapter. Oh,
there
there
you
you
go.
Much better, thank you.
Yeah, well, there's one little pops in a boy right there.
I like this. This comes from a Polaroid.
Oh, it does.
And Pops, his son is there, Samuel, and Raymond, and I don't know everybody else's name, but he used to mentor, guys in his neighborhood, especially all of his son's friends.
Oh, how beautiful.
And
nice.
they all grew up,
Family.
good fathers, take care of their kids,
Children, there you go.
working full time, and
Okay.
doing well.
Then there, I love that. I love that.
So they had played some basketball, and then they went to a festival and they took this picture.
Oh, wow. I like
So
it.
I call it male bonding
And
because
now
I
that-
love it.
that-
Because this has
that's perfect.
generations in here.
How
Yeah.
many?
I don't know, but I'm just saying it's with the baby,
Baby,
there.
yeah,
and,
I think you're
yeah.
right. I love it. I love it. Yep. And the bonding fits
And the
perfectly.
background's done in pastels,
Okay.
and the jewelry that you see is foil paper that I cut,
Oh, what a-
whittled to it look like a gold chain.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I love it.
And that everything else is cut paper.
Everything else is cut.
All of it's cut paper except for the
Layered?
background. Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
That's what I thought.
I mean, if you lift up his shirt right there, his shirt layers over his T-shirt, which layers over his shorts.
Wow. See, that is so interesting. That is really interesting. I love that. Okay.
These are my children when they were little.
Really? Oh my goodness.
This is called Auntie. Auntie gave me juicy juice.
Auntie, juicy juice. I like that.
Because I asked him, I said, "Oh, where'd you get that juicy juice?" Because I only gave him 100% juice. I didn't want him to drink juicy juice because it's really
It's
sweet.
very sweet, yes.
And he says, "Auntie gave me juicy juice." So he takes it and he sticks it out of the picture thinking, okay, so if I
Yeah,
put it over here
Mom
and
won't see-
file, and my daughter's like, "Oh, were you in trouble?" That kind of a thing. But it was long time ago.
Oh,
but
I love it. And he said,
yeah.
Mom won't see this.
yeah,
Mom-
yeah.
Anyway.
Isn't that funny? You just think you can, if you put it over.
Mom's not gonna
It's
see
out of the
this.
picture, so it's okay.
That's right. Mom can't see this. That is beautiful. I love
you.
that. I
Thank
really
you.
love that.
Thank you. Those are,
So which one of your children are they? Which out of the two of these? Which is this the two of them?
Yes,
Who's the oldest?
my son.
Your son's the oldest. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
I love it.
by 4 years.
Layered.
Yeah, all cut paper. Anything that you see shadings is
Yes.
where I use chalk pastels.
Oh.
But everything else, down to the shoelaces. And
Wow. Oh my goodness. That is fantastic. It's really phenomenal. Now I gotta ask, since we're talking, I know it's, layered. The colors, how did you find the colored? Is it fabric
I'm
or
going
is
to tell
it-
you, I hunt.
Okay.
I hunt for
Another
the
hunter.
there's, I don't know if you have that one, but there's a picture where someone has on glasses. I was looking for months for something that looked like that shade of the glasses. And I
okay.
wound up using tissue paper. and then several kinds of chalk pastels until I got it to do what I wanted to do. I think it's on here. But like his shorts, yeah, that's from various pieces of cardstock. If I can't find it, the paper itself that has the print, I'll do it myself.
Wow, that is fantastic. That is beautiful. I love that. I think that is so, so cute.
Do you see her little pacifier?
Yes, I do. I do.
Oh, God.
We're in trouble.
Yes, yes.
Oh, wow. That is so tough. You know, I was going to say, let's talk more about you as an artist, and we are still going to do that, but we're going to take a break.
Okay.
You have been watching Artists of Color. Please stay with us, and we will be back momentarily.
Today's spotlight is on Artists of Color.
I'm Elaine Hall-Corbin, your host and producer of Artists of Color, an art and cultural program that features artists. Please join us for Artists.
It's a man's world. I don't see anybody's name on it.
While they were doing their thing, we slowly changed all that.
Today, anything men can do. And there's one thing we're even better at.
Open up your books to page 360.
Did you just look at your phone while you was in class? You played yourself.
Talking about inspirational quotes.
You gotta believe in yourself. Don't ever play yourself. The key is to make it, so make it.
Louise, can you give me an example of a inspirational quote?
Don't play yourself. The key is to make it.
And who said that?
I did. Now that's a major key alert.
Learn the real major keys to getting to college at getschool.com.
Good afternoon and welcome back to Artists of Color. I am Elaine Hall-Corbin, your host. Thank you for joining us. And today my guest is artist extraordinaire, if I do say so, Patricia Thaxton. Pat, thanks for coming.
Thank you.
And I'm glad you're here.
I am
and
too.
We have been having such a good time.
Yes.
Tell me about this one.
Here. And this is interesting. I talk fast before we lose it. I did this back in, I can't remember the year, but anyway, this is my daughter-in-law. Okay. And I finished it and thought, I need to work some more on shape.
Okay.
I've come back to it 2-3 times, didn't quite get it. Now it looks a little differently, definition around the eyes and the nose and the mouth. And when you, or anyone else, goes to the 5th floor, at City Hall, the Mayor's Gallery, they can see it.
Okay. I like it. It's beautiful. How long did it take you to do that?
I don't know. I'm retired. So I work on, take a break,
come back and work on them.
I never know how long it takes. But, you know, she's a hairstylist, and I call her
she is?
Hairstylist rock star.
Oh, excuse
Her
me.
name is Sarah. And so the cut here, it was like deep in like maroon or wine under there, and it really did look like it had highlights.
Yeah,
like that.
To me it does.
Yes,
I like it. I really like it.
Thank you.
Yeah. In your artistic career, did you pick mixed media?
I like being able to use anything and everything that I want.
Okay.
You know, you can grab a piece of this, a piece of, especially when I like textiles and things of that sort. Say, for instance, I like this. I could take a picture of this and then use this in a basket or somewhere else or for something else or on a wall in a picture or anything. Okay. You can use various things to, you know, when you do collage. And so it gives you that freedom. You know, to be creative all kinds of ways. Instead of just, not just, but as a painter, you're painting.
Oh, okay. Whereas
Media Collage, I can
you
paint, I can use chalk pastels, I can use a combination of paper, I can use fabric, I can use
I felt a leaf from the street.
Actually,
yeah.
there is a piece that anything. Yes, there is. There's a picture with leaves in it.
Oh wow!
And I like that freedom.
Yes,
I like that freedom.
All right, I like.
And with that, also that giving that three-dimensional look to it is what I like.
All right.
Starting with a piece of paper, and you know, I just recently did a strip. I don't think it's here because there's only, I just hung it. I just finished it. It's hanging in the gallery.
Oh, okay.
But in working with a piece, you know, you cut the face, and then the eyes are separate, the mouth is separate. The hair, and then you begin to combine and build and put it together, and it becomes alive.
It does. Now, I know this was the same picture. Yeah. What is this?
It's on a wall.
It's on a wall. Okay.
It's on a wall.
Because I wasn't sure if it was on a wall or you had painted.
No, I have a shop on Etsy.
Yeah.
Etsy.com/shop/PL Thaxton. But on Etsy, I sell my prints of my work.
You do? Okay.
And so a person could buy a print framing themselves.
Okay.
And but I want to show them what it would look like framed in on a wall. So
That's
I
a good
show
idea. I like
the print,
that idea.
and then framed on the wall, and then a number of different perspectives.
Okay. I love it. I'm gonna go back. Do you paint? Well,
design. This one I call batik. Batik. It reminds me of a batik print, like when you stamp print, even take a potato print and print.
Oh, okay.
I took this one piece, as a matter of fact, and
I've never heard
thought
that term
to myself, I make this one piece do. And if you multiply various ways, and and you got the star in the middle, and different colors underneath, it makes it look a little differently.
Yes.
Batik.
Now, the background.
Background's paper.
Different color paper. Different colored paper.
And then the pieces on it.
I love it.
Designs. I'm thinking in terms of, at some point in time, having my designs on dinnerware.
Oh, Pat, that would be beautiful. Do you have a specific
fabric?
Okay. Have you got a particular design that you're interested in wanting to get out there?
I have shell design. I think it's more complicated. It might come up. I like to see that.
Oh, that would be beautiful.
I might start with mugs this year, but I like to see that. Yeah, this is called shell design.
Okay, this is the one we just started.
Yeah, I like to see that on dinnerware.
I too.
Dishes, mugs, bowls.
Yes, absolutely. That is beautiful. That is really beautiful. I love it.
Yeah, I like that. And it has, an African. Actually, I think I like yellows, oranges, some greens, and then kick it up with black and white.
Right. I agree with that. I like the yellows and the oranges.
This one was that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, many layers.
I could
pieces
see it.
Put it together until it does what you want it to do.
When you begin a collage, this is what I'm going to ask. When you begin to do a collage, do you have a thought of what you want it to look like?
Thank you for asking that question.
I figured I needed to know.
I start by saying that, if I find something that's interesting, but I can't leave it that way because I find most things interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It might be a pattern on someone's clothing that walks by that might give me an idea. It may be a number of things. But in my process, is that what you're asking me?
Yes.
My process. Once I decide, you know, and what attracts me, I'm not quite sure. A lot of times it's depth or it's color or texture.
So it depends
usually one of those
those
three
three
things that
things
really
that-
draws me in.
Okay.
And then I work from a picture.
Oh, you do?
I photograph it myself, or
Okay.
maybe I rip pieces of something from a magazine and put it to rearrange it and make it into something else, or it would trigger something else that I draw out and then proceed with it. But once I've got this picture done, idea what I want, I have it blown up on, you know, like drafting paper, like a pattern.
Okay.
Like you're laying out a pattern to sew.
Okay. Well, okay. Yeah, I guess that would actually.
Yes. And then cut out the pieces. But then before that, I need to decide, how do I want to approach this? Sometimes I want to paint the background. Sometimes I want to pastel the background. Sometimes I want to actually put those leaves in there, real artificial leaves or real leaves or whatever. Sometimes I want to add fabric to it. So I decide how I'm going to approach it. Do I want to do the person's whole face with eyes, nose, and mouth? Or do I just want to do the shading of it so that you can get the concept of what they look like?
Okay. Oh, that is interesting. Okay.
And then after I cut it out, I decide what kinds of paper I want to use.
Oh.
If I'm using paper. What kind of paper do I want to use? Something light, something hard. Like African Market, there was a woman on the right side that had a sheer kind of shawl over the top. And I kept trying to figure out, how do I got the dress, so then I got tissue paper and I had to put pastels on it, soft, so it gave a soft kind of feel, and then drape that over it. And it gave me the effect that I wanted. But, and then I have to think about, how am I going to make it look real by doing the layers. If I want that sweater to really look like it's over your top, I have to make the top about a 1/4 inch wide and then overlap this so that it works. Like, for instance, here.
Okay,
In the back
tell
of this
me.
one, I decided, because I want the whole back to have this kind of design, I was going to use fabric, but it was giving me a hard time. I'm not gonna lie, it was giving me a hard time. How am I gonna glue, use adhesive to put this down on top of the fabric? It was so I decided to photograph the fabric.
Oh.
And then blow that up and then put that in the background.
Okay, so you blew up.
So it's in paper. And this is called African fashion.
I believe
and
it.
it's something that I saw in pieces of this in a fashion magazine. A combination of things. I've changed a lot of it, but this is kente wrapping paper, and I had to splice that to give it movement. I like the fact that it's very sassy. You know, she's throwing up her skirt. But in order to get this gathering, I took a piece of tweed fabric.
Oh.
And I made it, and I stitched it like a skirt. And then I had to copy it several times in order for me to get it and put it together to look like that.
Time consuming.
And then you see, for someone who sews, the salvage edge that goes around it. I had to work that so it looks like you see the salvage edge going.
Yes.
And the beads, one by one, top layer, bottom layer, with another piece of black in between to make it look real.
Yes. That's amazing.
Thank you.
That is amazing. All
Thank
that
you.
intricate work. But it's beautiful. I love it.
Thank you.
I really do.
Thank you.
I think I want that. And oh.
Well, the pinks are kind of
yes.
up here. My favorite flowers, tiger lilies. So.
Oh, you like tiger lilies?
This is a picture of flowers that I received at some point in time, and I did petal by petal by petal by petal by petal, leaf by leaf. What? And assembled it, and that's what we got.
And that's all collage.
This original belongs to my girlfriend, Gladys Perez Bird.
Oh, okay. Can't get that
as
one.
well as African Market. African Market's 5 feet.
It is?
5 feet. It hangs in her dining room.
5 feet?
With my first show at Roxbury Open Studio, she said, put a tag on it, it sold. She says, I remember because we've been friends for so long. I
Okay.
remember back to 1996 when you were working on this at the kitchen table.
Oh yeah, she owned that. She owned that, absolutely.
And that's a, so on the wall.
Yeah, oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah,
I love it.
Thank you.
I really do. Oh, that is so beautiful.
Thank you.
5 feet?
The African market's 5 feet.
feet.
I work pretty big. That's a smaller piece. I think it's like 22 by 28 or something like that. But most
That's
of my,
not 5.
but
I've seen your stuff at Boxbury Open Studios.
but everything else. That's why I said this is a side, which
Side.
most people would still think that that's medium at least.
Yeah.
But 3 feet, 4 feet, they're at least 30 by 40.
Hey, I've seen your work at Boxbury Open Studios, and they were as big. They were taller.
Even when I was younger and, took a little art class and they said, draw something, I would have to fight with it because I have a hard time working
Making small. I knew it. I knew that.
We little people.
We want big. We want big, girl. We want big. Now, we talked about...
Yeah, that was
Okay.
African market.
Yeah, see? I love that.
Thank you.
I love it.
Thank you.
But now that I saw the design, the fashion one, I love that one too. Yeah, that is so
There are a
fabulous.
few other more recent pictures that I've done
Okay.
artwork last year and this year they're not on the site
They're not
as
on.
of yet.
Oh,
But,
they're not.
I have
Okay.
one called Music Lover.
Oh, I would
And
love
it's a young girl, and she's playing a guitar, and she's leaned over, and she's standing outside in the snow, And her braid is falling forward, and she's just in it.
She's engrossed,
She's
and she's
engrossed
really
in it.
Oh,
Music lover.
what?
And then my self-portrait, and then there's one that's called Hello, Old Friend.
Oh, now
And
that
there's
I
two
like that
women-
name.
2 women at an African festival. And I call it Hello Old Friend, meet and greet at an African festival.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And these 2 women meet and they're holding hands like this.
That is wonderful. What is Patricia's future in the art world? Do tell. What would you like to do? What would you like to see happen?
Honestly, I had a lull period.
Okay.
2017, 2015, oh my God, I was busy. And had a lull period. And I think, it happens to most artists. It's like, I'm not feeling anything, just yet. Went back into my file, still nothing, really kicks off. I have files of things that I've collected since the 1970s.
You do?
With that feeling that when I retire and I do my art, I will go back to, right. So I spent this year working on learning some new things. Believe it or not, I was on YouTube finding out what's a better adhesive that I can, what are other collage artists doing? What kinds of, I found that it really makes a difference when you're doing watercolor, the type of paper that you have,
See, I didn't know
And
that.
so I was, learning. I'm ready to grow. I think I'm going to take a drawing class.
Why not?
Take a drawing. I just feel as though as an artist, if you feel like you've got a weak, if you
Try
really
and
want to
strengthen it.
grow, you go and strengthen it by
Absolutely.
doing something.
Absolutely.
So, but I'm thinking for years, I think it's over 10 years, that I'm at Mattapan Square.
Oh, really?
And every time, I pass, I said, oh my God, I love this hustle, bustle, people going, the businesses and everything going on. Not to mention the depth. It's right up the hill to like Jubilee Christian Church. And I was thinking one day, I said, maybe I'll just put a ladder in the car and park it somewhere and just get up on a ladder so I could take this photo, But I'm going to do that. I'm going to say that's 2019.
Oh, all right.
2018, I went to this, last year, I went to this Scooper Bowl where they have various kinds of ice cream, that big thing.
Yes.
By the Jimmy Fund
Yep.
last year. And there were these 9, young black ladies, various colors, shades, and styles of clothing and hairstyle. It was just so beautiful. So I stopped and I said, "Can I take your picture?"
I was going to say, did you take a picture?
I decided, that's something that I finally learned. I decided that from now on I'm going to approach people, ask them if they can take my picture,
Yes.
give them a card, and say, let's talk.
Yep.
And that's what I did with them. I said, I might like to do this for an art piece, and they were excited about it.
Oh, my.
That's my next piece.
I
9 young
can't
ladies.
wait.
9 ladies. It's beautiful.
Oh, I'll bet it's going to be amazing.
It's going to have to be kind of big.
Yeah, another 5-footer.
Now maybe I'm trying to come down 30 by 40.
You sure now?
Yeah, that's still big.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. But yeah, looking forward to that. And I've got a piece that I've had in my head for a while: black eyed peas and rice. I'm going to do a design. Black eyed peas.
Oh, okay. When you do that one, put souls on it, because that's mine.
Okay. It's in my head. I'm working on it.
Black
Pieces
eyed
are
peas
cut.
and
I'm just deciding how it's going to move.
Look.
It's going to be a
Ooh,
design.
how it's going to move. Oh, that is fantastic.
Thank you.
That is absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
I get 9 young women and black eyed peas and rice. Oh yeah, that'd be phenomenal. That is going to be phenomenal.
Yeah, those 2 are going to be done before the year's over.
Wonderful, absolutely wonderful.
I did a piece called the Jamaican Artist. Went to Jamaica 2016, destination wedding. One of my students.
There's been a lot of those in the world.
One of my students.
One of your students.
Yes. And there was this sculptor carving in wood, and he had all these plaques and things. And just before leaving, going to the airport, stopped in and bought it. I was just as interested in his work as just the character in his face, So we took a picture there, and I've spliced it and made a collage with the art piece itself, him as the artist, and then another picture of him working on it.
Oh.
Yeah. I didn't put that in the show. As a matter of fact, I had 19 pieces to show. He said he couldn't take all those, especially since they were so big. So there are 12.
Of course, you and your 5-footers, of
so
course.
There are 12 there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I can, it's just like doing so much. You're doing so much. And I like the future, and you have to.
Trying to grow.
I
think, if you keep yourself busy and grow, you have a full life. And young, keeps you moving.
Don't it? Yep, I have friends who tell me in a minute, look at you, you never sit still.
That's true.
You got to keep. See, there goes.
I'm talking about beyond the listen. You are on the go. You are on the go. I see you everywhere.
I know. And I try not to be, but I always end up everywhere.
No, but it's nice. Keeps you happy, You have a whole lot more to give. I'm working. I'm continuing. And and this is why I continue, because I love doing this. Good.
And I love having amazing artists like you.
Thank you.
To come out and have conversations and let the community know that, hey, we have artists here in our midst. Come and see, get to know them. To me, important. That really is.
Well, I want to shout out to all my family and friends and my students.
Yeah, and your students.
My students. When just before retiring, I got a little weepy one day. It's 35 years.
I was going, see?
35
almost forgot
years.
the 35 years.
35 years. As a matter of fact, I was making an announcement about the winners in the talent show.
Okay.
And I burst into tears.
Couldn't finish, huh?
Had to put it down. Students walked out of that class. I'm going to go see what's wrong with Miss Thaxton.
I see.
My principal said, you don't have to retire. I said, no, it's time to go. There's some things I want to do. I gave you all I had. Now it's
time for you.
some things I want to do.
What
And
do
so-
you want to do?
And so that's what I was telling them, that I want, I want to do an art show. I want to do,
yeah.
do the acting, and what else was on my list? Maybe do a little bit of modeling again. I used to model way back when,
Do you want to do a little traveling?
Oh, definitely. That's a must.
That's a given.
It really is.
Yeah,
It
because
really
that's when you
is.
come back with the great ideas.
Really,
Yeah, that's when you come back with the great ideas.
yeah.
Well,
I want to
will
do a
say-
piece on either the square or the center of various towns. You know what I
Interesting.
So
Yes.
even if I start with like Mattapan Square, but I like
And
to
work your
travel.
way-
I mean, all over, and do the square and the center of various towns.
Absolutely.
Because there you capture not only the architect and the neighborhood, but people too. So that's a combination of getting everything together.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be looking forward to all of that.
Yeah.
I'll be looking for 9 women, Black Eyed Peas.
That's
and Ice,
happening.
And whatever she's coming up with, because I know she's coming up
That's
with
going to
lots
happen.
lots of stuff.
Okay.
Thank you, because I am so happy you came
I
to
am
visit us
too.
today. With us today, to come again.
Thank you.
This is Elaine Hall-Corbin, your host of Artists of Color, and my guest has been Patricia Thaxton, artist extraordinaire. We hope to see you soon again. Take care. See you next month.